Welcome back, my Duelist friends. Casual Duelist here, and one second, let's do that. It is Speed Duel Sunday, which means I have two decks for you this week. We're not going to do a Speed Duel Spotlight, and it's really going to be two lists for the same deck. So we're going to do this in Tier 1 first, and we're going to do Tier 2 second. Now, the major difference between these is going to be the card count. The main deck today is going to be a full 30. We're going for maximum size so we can maximize our tricks, our traps, and our ability. So again, we're going to be using a Jaden skill. We're going to be using the right hero for the job. Once per duel during the main phase, and that's when you activate this, flip this over when you activate it. So once per duel during the main phase, you can shuffle one elemental hero that you control to your main deck, then special summon a level 4 or lower elemental hero from the main deck with a different name than the shuffled card. So again, this is going to work out pretty darn good, guys. What this is going to do is give us a little more stability for the hero gate. Because we're going to be using fusion gates so much. So let's get into that 30-card main deck, right? First and foremost, I'm going to be playing one copy of Blade Edge. And again, I'm going to be moving this a little bit. Blade Edge is just stats, my friends. We are going to use him for one of our fusions, yes, because we've got the Plasma Vice in here. But we are also using him simply because he has a high level and he's piercing. Again, just one copy. We are going to use two copies of the elemental hero Blaze Man, and this guy comes with a couple of different cool effects. The first one, which we will not be using, is that when normal or special summoned, you could add polymerization from the deck to the hand. We will be using instead during the main phase, you can activate this effect. You cannot special summon except for fusion monsters. Send one elemental hero card from the deck to the graveyard, except Blaze Man. If you do, this card's attribute, attack, and defense become the same as the card sent until the end of this turn. You can only use one Blaze Man effect per turn and only once that turn. Now, on the one hand, we don't have an ability to get those cards back the way this deck is built, but it could mean that he could go ahead and press for advantage by becoming Blade Edge's stats, gaining that 2,600 attack instead of being 12. We'd also set up for him with a future card. We'll get to that here in a second. I am running one Burst into Tricks. Because again, I kind of want to lean a little bit towards a Flame Wingman still being available to you guys. Plus, I'm loving the Nova Master. So again, I wanted to up my fire attribute to 3 without requiring a third Blaze Man, just because of technical stuff. That's all. So she's in here. One of Blaze Man's best targets will be Necroshade, because either you're going to normal summon a Necroshade without tributing, or you're going to normal summon your Blade Edge without tributing. Either way, this is a step up from Blaze Man's base attack, going up to the 16, so it's not a bad move at all. Plus, we are using some Necroshade fusions. So, because of that, we changed out the extra deck by one card, so it should be pretty fun. We still want to centralize around 3 Sparkman. Not only is he one of the most consistently powerful 4-stars right now, but he's also in 3-ish, 4 fusions for our extra deck. So again, he comes in super handy. And then our last monster card will be 3 copies of Goddess with the Third Eye, as she is our fusion substitution monster. Now, real quick, let me... Yeah, okay, I remembered how to do that right. So this way we zoom out a little bit. I want to give you guys the full deck in one screenshot opportunity, just because I feel like that would be easier for you guys. We are going to use 2 copies of Hero Lives moving into the spells. So that was 12-ish, 12, 4, yeah, 12 monsters. Again, 30-card deck. We're going to be using 2 copies of Hero Lives. If you control no face-up monsters, you can pay half your life, special summon a level 4 or lower from the deck. Again, it could be anybody that's up there. And then, since we're not exactly using Blaze Man for his effect, he could dip, throw somebody, and still swap out for something that you confuse with now. So, I mean, there's still those possibilities. Moving into cards that are on the limit list. And believe it or not, even though I built this one for Tier 1, we are playing it to the list. What you could easily do is just thin the deck down, flood it full of reinforcement of the army, really play the hero that you want to play, and just base your extra deck around that, at which point you just be Blaze, Flame Wingman with Blaze Man, Avion, Burstinatrix, Goddess, three Rhoda, and you would simply do that, and just play to like 2 or 3 fusions. This is more of a tech build, so I found it easier to actually follow the list for it. So 1 book, 1 Cosmic Cyclone, 2 Foolish Burials, because again, you're not always going to be able to use the Blaze Man to get into our boy Blade Edge. So sometimes you just want to just go ahead and send a Necro Shade out of your deck just real quick, just get it over with. And again, that'll thin out the deck just a little bit, which will also help speed you up just a tiny bit. We are using 3 of the Fusion Gate because, again, it is the most important part of the deck. When this card is on the field, the turn player can fusion summon any amount of times that they want by banishing fusion materials listed on a fusion monster from hand and or field. So it's like Polymerization if it banished things, but as a field spell. So you just keep using it. 1 copy Night Beam, 1 copy Offerings to the Doomed, 1 copy Reinforcement of the Army. Again, you guys could thin this down. I just really wanted to try a 30-card deck because I thought it'd be fun. 1 copy of Shrink, and then moving into the last 5 cards of the deck, I've got 2 copies of Lost Wind, 1 copy of Metaverse, and 2 copies Wall of Disruption. Now, there are, like I said, tons of things you guys could do to shred this down a little bit. But again, building for Tier 1 using the Tier 2 limits is fine. This will be the 30-card main deck. Again, real quick, take some photo. Either screenshot if you're on... Sorry about that, didn't mean to whistle. Take a screenshot if you are on mobile or a tablet, or pause and make some notes, and I'll be right back with the extra in the side deck. Just 1 second. All right, leading off the extra deck will be our Elemental Hero Dark Bright. Again, Spark plus Necro Shade, they both exist, so we might be able to save some of our copies of Goddess for other fusions. If this attacks defense, inflict piercing. If it does attack, change to defense at the end of the damage step. If destroyed, target a monster the opponent controls, destroy it back. So again, multiple effects. You guys ought know Flame Wingman by now. Necroid Shaman is our newest add. We took out the Rampart Blaster from our last hero build. And since we have double Necro Shade, we felt that this one would be very fun. So here's how this guy works. If is special summoned, target a monster that the opponent controls, destroy that target, then special summon a monster from their graveyard back to their field. So, on the off chance for some reason you triggered your opponent's Waking the Dragon into a Blue Eyes Ultimate, you could swap out the Blue Eyes Ultimate by destroying it and put back, I don't know, Sphere Karibo? Something. You just goof on your opponent, style on him with this guy. Again, very cool, and honestly, deserving of its own tech build. So, that's going to be coming. I think that's another thing I'm going to do by the end of the week coming forward. Just because, again, I like the way he looks. Nova Master, again, like I said, I want him. I love the draw ability. And the fact that while Blaze Man is setting up for Blade Edge to come out the next turn by throwing the Necro Shade, since we didn't actually get like a name change, all we need is another fire attribute. So again, we're able to just go ahead and toss and get some cool stuff going. Next up, Plasma Vice, again, piercing plus, discard card, destroy 1 attack position monster the opponent controls. Always good. And T-Giant, just because, again, he's kind of iconic. And again, maybe you guys don't want to play the Thunder Giant because you wanted another, Rampart Blaster. Swap that back out. Because this is essentially going to do the same thing as Plasma Vice. And now we've got 4 targets, really, that are actually listed on the card, as well as our Goddess with the Third Eye. So again, it's not going to be terribly difficult to put that together. The extra deck's pretty simple. Again, the side deck kind of wants to play a little more tech. We are going to be playing the 1 Cosmic Cyclone. I am packing 2 copies of Polymerization in here because, again, we do have the Metaverse. Guys, it's a 30-card build. There's tons of fat that you guys could trim, which makes side decking a little more enjoyable since you do have the extra 10 cards in this build. So, again, it's just like we toss out 1 of the field spell because, again, we have a fetch trap for the field spell, and we also have the other copies. So again, that's like a 3-pack, which is usually where I'd go instead of 4. I went 4 due to size. Another easy and like guilt-free swap. Toss a foolish burial. Like for real, you don't need to keep the foolish burials in there. Um, they're just kind of gimmicky and for game one. That's all. Next card, we get a copy of Shrink, got another Lost Wind, and another Wall of Disruption. Because again, until the heroes do get their fusion, it's just really great to like maximize on the cards that are going to help you stay in the game longer. So I do hope that you guys enjoyed this. Like honestly, because this was a lot of fun. I hope that you guys enjoyed yesterday's Gravekeepers, and I hope that later today you guys enjoy the next variant of this, where we actually tighten the deck down to a 20 card count, or maybe like 22 at most, and we really get into it, really have some fun with the heroes. Guys, what else do you want to see? Like, I have this whole blank note card here. I got this whole pen right here. And I would love to just put your requests on here so that I can get busy building those as we move forward. And again, for right now, I just want to focus in on the speed duel. Because again, I just didn't understand tier 2 at first. And yeah, that's what happens when you don't fully read an article that's in front of you before. So that said, I want to get you guys more of a tier 2 standing, and I want to get prepped for the next box release. Again, as we get some like other stuff, like I'm going to return to the alternate deck Mondays. And I know I have a deck here somewhere for Magic. So we got a Magic deck for tomorrow. And I will start working the advanced format back in again. I just wanted to take a little break from it. We're getting everything sorted again because there's a lot of cards that just weren't sorted. Just found some other cards that we had pre the move that needed to get done. So like I found these other Ancient Warrior cards. So like I never got to rebuild that deck. So like I want to do that. I want to do whatever you guys are requesting. We do have another advanced format deck. So I got to find some Satellar Knights. So let me know any and all of the things. And I do think that we have a structure deck release coming out fairly soon here too. So don't worry, we will be covering that. So do the things, my friends. Don't do the things if you don't want to. Do one thing. Do one thing. Go out, try to have a great day today. It's Sunday. Relax. Take it easy. Hopefully you guys can have like a great meal with the people that you cherish. And just have a wonderful day, all right? And then if you guys come back later for the second video, great. If you guys come back tomorrow for a little off Yu-Gi-Oh branding, great. I do have some figures from my Yu-Gi D&D thing that I finally got some painted. So I'd like to show those off to you. I wanted to work on some more stat blocks. You guys let me know if that was something that you guys were enjoying, or if that's something I should just kind of retire out of the cycle. That's so much stuff. I'm sorry. You guys have a wonderful day. I'll see you next time. Later.